Morning from Happy Farmers. We ended up with about 37.5 mil yesterday in that 24-hour period. I think the maximum rainfall we got in an hour was about 4 mils, so we got it nice and steady across, well, I think it was about 20 hours in the end that we just had this like drizzling rain. That meant that every single drop went into our soils. Hopefully that has soaked in and getting those poor little plants a chance to grow. So a great day yesterday, a great Sunday. A happy farmer when I can stand here and say that I'm actually wet. Hello and welcome back to the Sunnybank Farm channel. Today I'm going to be covering a topic that always has a lot of intrigue and a lot of questions around it. We're going to be looking at our egg sorting, how our systems work, how we get our eggs from storage into the machine and then clean and ready and packed, ready to go to you. So let's get into it, shall we? It is late Tuesday afternoon, so it's the night before our egg sort. We always do an egg sort every Wednesday morning, nice and bright and early. Because it's always so busy in the morning, I'm not quite sure what will fit in the morning or not, so I thought I'd quickly show you our storage and what it looks like when all of the eggs for the week are in there. And I'll show you what it looks like afterwards when they're all been sorted and into various storage places. So we have two sections here, clean at the back and dirty on the side. I'll start with the dirties. This is the dirty eggs, and this is what we have for the week. They come out of the vans in these crates, stacked on our little side-by-side. And then these guys live on little trolleys. And these trolleys all have, well, they should almost all have now, these little yellow marks on there. That's how we know they're dirty eggs. And we try very hard to make sure we keep all our dirties and clean items very separate, obviously for hygiene reasons. And this is the average amount we get. We've got about 1,200, no, probably a bit less now. 1,100 laying, and this is roughly what we get. I think it's around, 6,500 eggs, something like that at the minute. I'll be able to confirm when I look up all of our data for you, which I should talk about later. But there's that. They all come out tomorrow morning over into the shed to our machine, and we put them all through the machine. Here is our clean eggs. The light is starting to fade, so I've got a little torch on me, so hopefully that's not too annoying. But basically we have obviously two shelvings, and we have our clean trolleys, which now have no eggs in them because we have sold them or used them. What we do have left in here is farm gate eggs and a couple of extra dozens that we're trying to collect, so we bank up some eggs over a few weeks because we have a few markets as well as our meat run. So obviously they don't get the old eggs, but we just manage where the eggs go each week to make sure we kind of get an extra box or two and build up towards those bigger weeks of the month, because chickens lay the same amount of eggs every single day, so you kind of have to bank it up or manage your flow of eggs to meet differing weeks. Basically what's in here, that's a dehumidifier, so that helps with condensation. So depending on the weather, sometimes it can bring some condensation in here. We also have the aircon, which just jumped on over there, which is the cheapest possible setup we could do to manage our eggs. There are more efficient and better ways to do things, but that's what we've got. And there's a temperature gauge over here. That temperature's fine. As long as things stay relatively consistent, eggs are fine and stored in here. So there's the cool room reefer there, and this is the packing shed. We have one side, we have a bit of a workshop storage area for things, and the other side, which you're going to see all of this in action tomorrow. So what you can see here is we've got our dozens labelled and marked and ready. We have all our clean crates. So pink is retail, blue is cafe crates. Sometimes we run out and we have to change them around, but we try and manage. And then all of these things over here will all be cleaned up by tomorrow morning, or you'll see them in the morning, and all of this will be in action. It's egg sorting morning, and here we've got John, Alana, Terry and myself, and we're just about to get into it. Time to put the trolleys to work. What do you reckon now? we're so used to doing the next bit that I realised I didn't add any context. So our egg sorting crew is a little bit superstitious. And so we have a couple of things we have to do at the start of every sort in order for things not to go wrong. So we have John has to hit the scales with his foot. Lily has to put the egg through the egg sorter to check that the ink or the stamp is working. And if that doesn't happen, oof. And we say like a little prayer right before we turn the machine on, which I think it's something like, may the gods be in our favour or something. And if we don't do that, things break and stuff doesn't work. And it so far has been pretty spot on. So maybe it's something that we must keep doing. Nice. On brand. Yeah. Is that Lily's egg? Egg? Almost. Not yet, Lilty. We're at the end here.
Oh, good job.
Hooray! Superstition's done. This is what it looks like when it's all ready to go. And I got the mostly camera shy folk to give you a wave. Alrighty, let's get into it. So we're using a Xenia 300A egg processing line. It's quite noisy, so I've actually taken that background noise out. And you can see here, looking across, that we have 3 stations and a 4th person who helps to pack. John is on the egg loading station and he's putting these eggs by hand onto this little candler, which just takes out any majorly obvious cracked eggs. Over here you can see the brushes going. That's got water and brushes. This is to clean them off. Over there it stops the water and it just goes to air and brushes. That's to try and dry the water off. Obviously we can't have wet eggs. We only use water, there is no chemicals and it's not hot, it's just plain water with the brushes, and that seems to work quite well for us. This is processing at the machine's maximum of 3,000 eggs an hour. Onto the egg stamping machine. This is a requirement by law to have a unique code that matches to each individual egg producer. This is for traceability and food safety, and in Australia if you have more than 50 chickens producing eggs and you choose to sell them, you are required to have an egg stamp. You can do various creative stamp patterns, but you have to have the 4 letters included in your stamp. Around they go to the UV light sanitizing section of the machine. So these eggs have been washed, they've been dried and stamped, and now they're using UV light to clean them. After the UV light, they are funneled into the candling station. This is the 2nd human operated area. For those not staring at eggs for hours, I've been told this can be quite mesmerising, so I'll let you take a minute. By a minute, I meant a few seconds, because this is an important station where we take out any cracked, dirty, or eggs that are odd shaped. Anything that we don't want in a carton, they come out here. The cracked eggs go into a big bucket. Eggs that are perfectly fine to eat but have marks or odd shaped that aren't quite up to the standard we want in our cartons go to bakeries, and if we have enough they go to charity as well. On to grading, our 3rd human operated station. The grader uses individual scales on each of those prongs to put the eggs into categories via weight. This is how we pack them into the right sizes. This is usually Alana's wheelhouse, but on this occasion, because I'm filming, Terry is the one here putting eggs into cartons based on their size. Normally he's the one that will be organising where everything goes and making sure we have enough for each customer each week. Another aspect that divides the crew is whether the grader in operation without the noise behind is annoying or whether it's satisfying. What are your thoughts? And there you have it. That about sums up the machine process. We get through about 6,500 eggs in 2.5 to 3 hours. A large chunk of those eggs go straight into the van, ready for deliveries early the next morning. We do one big weekly delivery run every Thursday morning all across Ballarat. Apart from our cartons, we no longer use any additional cardboard with our eggs. Instead, we have reusable plastic crates and trays that we swap out each week and wash and sanitise. This reduces a huge amount of cardboard waste. And with exception to the occasional market, everything else goes into our farm gate to be sold across the week to our amazing local community. And there you have it. That is our weekly egg sort on the farm. Something that allows us to not only pack and sort and get things organised for our customers, but also allows us to have a really good look at the eggs, the numbers that we're getting, any major deviations in cracked or damaged or shells changes, things like that allow us to understand what's going on with our hens out in the paddock. Hopefully soon we're going to go to 2 egg sorts a week. That'll be based on our volume of eggs that we're getting in, which is always a good thing. Everything to do with farming is about the health of your animals, but also about how efficiently and effectively you do things. And there'll be more things we can improve, whether it be bottlenecks that are in our machine to make it go faster, or improved bigger and better reefers, trolleys, ramps, or you name it. There's a whole lot of little things that we can do. Nothing happens overnight, so we will continue to grow and develop and keep aiming to make the very best possible eggs that we can with the healthiest possible chickens that we can. I thought I'd do a quick update on Ziggy before the video ended and let you know, for those following along at home, that his antibiotics has finished and his joint ill is gone. He is a healthy, happy little crazy little lamb, and he's even starting to eat hay and grass like he's supposed to, having a bit of a nibble. So he's exactly where we want him to be, and him and Nora are having a lot of fun playing with each other now. A good news story for this little man. And these jackets are shapewear for lambs. I just took this one off because it's filthy and it doesn't fit her anymore. Look at the extra bulge on you. There you go, that's a fair bit of extra. Bit of tummy space there, Nora. Sorry, I'm not fat shaming you. You're doing real good. Dropped it.